August 9th, 2015. Good morning, Sudbury. I'm howling about Dusty. I'm going to bring you some of the news and the weather today. But the first thing I want to do is surprise you with some top celebrity birthdays because it's Sunday, and I figure Sunday is for all the world. So, comedian, director David Steinberg is 73, Sam Elliott is 71, Barbara Mason is 68, Melanie Griffith is 58, actress Miranda Bears. Oh, she's from Married with Children. She's 57. Rupert Curtis Blow is 56. And, Gillian Anderson from the X-Files is 47. Eric Bana is 47. And Good Morning America co-anchor Chris Cuomo is 45. Actor Thomas Lennon from Reno 911 is 45. And, So, those are today's celebrity birthdays, because I like to do special stuff on Sunday. International news. Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi has unveiled sweeping reforms to reduce government costs and fight corruption after protests across the country. He said senior political appointments should not be based on sectarian or party quotas and moved to abolish the post-vice president and deputy prime minister positions. Most of the Iraqi Prime Minister's proposed reforms will require parliamentary approval, but the move follows a recent anti-government protests that were sparked by unreliable electricity amid a major heat wave. Japan Prime Minister calls for elimination of nuclear weapons. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has again called for the abolition of nuclear weapons on the 70th anniversary of the Nagasaki atomic bombing. The bomb dropped by the United States Air Force came 3 days after the world's first nuclear strike. The bomb dropped by the United States Air Force came 3 days after the world's first nuclear strike devastated the city of Hiroshima. The Japanese Prime Minister led the official commemoration ceremony in Nagasaki's Peace Park. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about hackers and people who use computers to do things that they want them to do instead of what they're meant to do. I think the most shocking story is about how some hackers were able to hack a Ford Fiat or Ford Fiesta. I think it was a Fiat. And they were able to bring it to a stop, grab the wheel, lock the brakes, do almost anything that the person who's supposed to be operating the car could have done. So somebody could have died that way, and 1.4 million cars had to be recalled over this. So the question comes, are hackers doing a good thing? And I think they are, because in this case, a car should never have to receive updates from a central server. A car should do the thing that you do when you get in and turn the key. That is your car. And yes, you do have to pay lots of fees and insurance and this, that, and the other on it. Tires, balance, rotation. It's a big thing to take care of. And for such a big thing to take care of and that requires a lot of responsibility, it's tough to think that you would put portions of that care into somebody else's hands who may or may not be looking out for it. Because when you have a car that has to update something with a central server, you don't know what it's going to do next. Imagine turning on your car and it says it's updating the fuel injectors. Updating them to do what? You don't know. Especially if somebody has a car, they don't know anything about a car, and then there's these updates happening. It can be awfully scary, and it can make you think very ill of the machines that you have to operate if one day you go to turn it on, and it doesn't want to turn on because it had a software error, or because it has deemed itself unsafe today. Now, these problems shouldn't be linked to a central server. Otherwise, we may have a day where everybody goes out to drive their cars in the morning, and none of the cars will go, because something, or there's just a flaw that has prevented all these cars from running. I think it's the robustness of our systems that allow us to go. Like we have a great infrastructure. Anybody can drive on a road for free. But what if we had to stop? What if we had to close the roads to update them? But what if we had to close them to update them and they were in somebody else's hands? somebody who didn't necessarily care what you were doing that day. Well, then we would see these updates being shuffled around to more convenient times and being bogged down, slowed down, and before long, we'd all be reduced to one lane while all the other lanes are being updated. So I don't think we can have this. So are hackers a good thing or a bad thing? They're good in the sense that they're able to mess with the things that we left messable. But they're bad in the sense that sometimes one will get a little bit too much power and decide that, he's going to mess with other human beings. Generally, though, we don't see a lot of sociopathic hackers, because a lot of hackers and a lot of computer specialists are very intelligent and consequently very good people because of it. But every now and then, you do find that somebody is extremely intelligent and extremely malicious, and that's of course the fear with hackers, that you might have a malicious hacker out there. And in this age, it's become a terrifying thing that somebody might maliciously do something to your computer or to your car without your knowledge. But the really malicious thing about it is that these things might happen without a reason, and that's soul-shattering. It can make you feel like the whole human race is against you. So hackers are bad in a way, but in other ways kind of good. And it's tough to tell what should be done, because we do need people who are constantly breaking things so that we can see where a computer breaks, where a car breaks, where our road systems break, what are the most vulnerable and important parts of our system. When you think of the term hacker, or when anyone thinks of the term hacker, the vision that comes into the head right away, into the mind, is someone who's in a darkly lit room looking at nothing but their computer screen intently. And that's probably the case, because in a hacker's mind, they're doing something extremely exciting. And whether it be messing with you or messing with me, they probably have somewhat of a reason for it. Or something has outraged them and they want to use their powers to get back at whatever organization's harmed them. Anyway, that's just my opinion on the matter. It's Sunday, and I figured we could do something special. We'd talk about this, that, the other, some international news, and some birthdays. Finishing off with the weather. 18 degrees, feels like 22. Sunday afternoon, 25, gonna feel like 28. Sunday evening, 22 degrees, gonna feel like 25. And overnight, a clear, cool 60 degrees. Tomorrow, expect to wake up to a reasonably warm 17 degrees with a little bit of rain. I'm Howlin' Mad Dusty. This was I'm Howlin' Mad Dusty. That was Sunday's news and all the things that were cool today. And I will see you on Monday.